Okay, this is how I installed a backup camera in my 2000 Honda Insight with a manual transmission. What I ended up using was a kit like this, where the display is built into the mirror, and then your backup camera mounts to the license plate. They're nice and discreet. You don't really notice them that much. And how I ended up doing it, so here's your license plate. I don't have any good photos, but here's where your license plate would mount on the back. Here's the camera, and you run it up through. There's some holes where the license plate lights are. I ran it up through there, just behind the bumper. And when you pull this felt panel out right here, you'll notice that there's a rubber grommet here where some wires pass through, and there's a little plastic plug on the same size and everything on this side. And I knocked that plastic plug out, and that's where I ran my video wire through, because then I didn't have to poke a hole through this grommet. So I ran through that hole here after I knocked out the plug, ran it through here, and then right over here where the CD player is, there's a little cavity back here, and I was able to kind of run it up through around here underneath kind of the back of the CD player, so it wasn't visible, along with the factory wiring harnesses back here. The only way I was able to get a signal wire for for when you put it in reverse to activate that video feed, the only way I could get a signal wire for the reverse camera was to tap into the tail lights. There is a reverse light fuse under the dash, but it's before the relay, so it just acts as keyed ignition, which doesn't help you as a signal wire unless you want the camera on all the time. So what I ended up doing, because I didn't want to splice into the factory harness, I don't like doing that, is I found these little bulb extenders I had sitting around, just male to female, a couple inches long. I think they're adapters originally for something, but I used that. So here it is right here, and there's a factory harness. Here's the little bulb extender. That's why I ended up tapping into, because then I'm tapping into a $3 connector rather than my expensive taillight harness. So here that is. Ran it through here. There's a little clip right here. I ran it through there, and then ran it along here with the factory wiring through that grommet. To get it through that grommet, you have to untape it. It takes forever. Once I did that, here you go right here. Ran it through, taped it really good. I got a cheap Amazon connector set, weatherproof connectors, and I installed that. This is all with a nice electrical tape, better than what came on it. But there it is. So right there, tapped it in with that extender, ran through here, out here, new electrical tape connector. So that ends up right around off screen here is where the tail light is. And that's where my connector is, right here. And I ran the signal wire right along with this video wire through here. Once I got behind the CD thing, I ended up taking this IMA cover off because I already had it all apart. And I pulled this foam panel, and I ran it through here because there's this cavity. There's a bunch of factory harnesses that run through here, and I ran it along with the wires that go through there. The benefit of this is at the bottom of this big metal panel in here, the firewall, there's a little cutout where all the harnesses go through, and that puts you out right along the door seal plate. You could probably tuck it in through this carpeting or something like that. So once I ran it along through here, down here is where that in that cavity where there's a little cutout, I ran it out through here, popped this door seal panel off, pulled the carpet back, and ran it right through here. There's wiring harnesses that already run through here. Ran it along with those wiring harnesses. And then this little piece of carpet in here on the kick panel pulls out just with some of the normal Honda clips. You pry it out, pops out, and I was able to run it up right into the dash. Now, the reason you want to run it to the dash is because you need a keyed ignition power for your display for the mirror. So what I did for the mirror is, where's a picture with a mirror? Here's a picture with a mirror. So there's your mirror. These aftermarket mirrors, because on these Insights, the way they are, there's a little metal panel that glues to the windshield that your mirror sits on. You would probably have to get that new metal panel glued on with some like windshield adhesive or whatever you choose. I was replacing the windshield anyways because it was cracked, so I just had Safelite glue on a new metal piece for the mirror. And I ran my wire up through here, nice and tight, straight line. Ran it across here. I already had the headliner out, so I just ran it up through here with the center light wiring harness, and I ran it down the A-pillar. Once you get down the A-pillar, if you pop that plastic panel off, where the A-pillar meets right in here, when you pull this plastic panel off, there's a little cavity. It's a bit hard to fish wires down through the dash here. What I ended up doing was sticking some like bendable wire up into there, and then taped my wires to it and pulled it through to get down to the fuse panel location in here. So now that all my wires were in here, I used a fuse tap. Looks like this. Used a fuse tap just like these, pretty cheap, especially if you order them online versus AutoZone's expensive. But I used a fuse tap so I didn't have to splice into anything. And I don't know exactly what fuse I used off of the top of my head, but it was for the taillights or something like that. And you want keyed ignition because you don't want that display on all the time. So I tapped into one of those fuses in here using that. And that's what I got power for my mirror and then power for my camera. And same with the signal wire. And that's where I connected it all up in there. One thing I think I forgot to mention is you do have to run a power cable along with these as well. Along with the video wire, there's like a power cable. Kind of looks like a RCA cable on mine. And that'll need to run along there. So you got your power cable, video cable, and then you have your signal wire running up through there. That was how I found it easiest for me, because I already had most of this apart for other reasons, because I was getting the car repainted. Another good bet would probably be run it through here, and you can probably get right to here. There's a little panel I have off right there, but that's like 3 bolts and a tab or something. But if you run it through here, you could probably get it through here and then go across the dash. That might be a bit easier than removing like the 30 fasteners to hold this panel on to remove that foam panel. But that's how I ended up doing it. I hope this was helpful.